Yes, yes, yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi 300. Stop sharing that and start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So I got the proper screen up. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let me take a second look at that. Let me review that. Just had an idea. How does that work? What does that do? Should I press that? No, that's a bad idea. That's more actions. I'll explore that another day. Okay. Let's go. It's 300. 300 shows. 300 live shows. 300 boxing talk with Raffis. So I feel that this is a milestone, a landmark, an achievement. How does it feel? It feels pretty damn good. Pretty damn good indeed. Especially, hold on a second, let's wait until the area gets populated, till we get too deep. Let's have a little looky over here. Okay, let's drop that. Let's aim for a sound check. Okay, let's have a look, let's have a look. Let's drop that. Let's aim for a sound check. Okay. Let's have a look. Yep, that sounds fine. Fine and dandy. Okay, so let me tidy up my screens. Let me get things in order before we... Fine and dandy. What the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on here? Have I got two? Got two of the same screens up. Let's drop that one down. As a matter of fact, while we're there, let's have a look around here. Let's see what's going on. Let's make sure everything is present and correct. Okay, what's going on here? What did I just see? Okay. Can't stay for the live, but congrats on the 300. Respect. Much appreciation goes out to the Marion G. Chris Ross. Haven't seen Chris Ross in a while, but he's up in here. He's poked his head in. Good to see you, Chris Ross. Good to see you. Okay, so people are making their way into the building. 300. We're on 300. 300 boxing talks with Rafi. Dang. Feels good. It's been a couple of years now. 2.5. Yeah, maybe 2.25, something like that. Okay. So what we're looking at here? Good man. Okay. So, do I get stuck in? Why don't we get stuck in? Oh, what time is that? Okay. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. What's going on here? Shizbiz up in the building. Turned up for the 300th episode. And I think he was one of the early ones. Shiz, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was one of the early cats up in here. Okay. But not only are we under 300, but can I show you this? Can I show you something? Can I? What's going on? Uh-oh, didn't mean to do that. What's going on? Oh, gotta start sharing that again. Okay. Boom. Okay, so that's the 300. It's back up. And let's get on with the show. I was gonna show you something, but let's save that for later. Let's get on. Let's get stuck in. Let's go. Okay, so where are we going to start? I think it's natural that we start with, the big show of the weekend. The big show on the weekend. And let's stop sharing that and start sharing this. Are we? Okay, let's go through. We got a photo library. Let's enjoy it. Okay, can you see that? Okay, let's resize that. Let's get to scale. Oh, one button touch, one touch button. Can I do that? One touch? No, that's no good. Let's touch it again. Okay. Let's get it. See what's gonna happen here. See what's gonna happen here. It's not gonna let me do what I want to do. Okay, but anyway, let's go through this photo gallery as we discuss the fight. Okay, let's cut that. Let's cut the music and let's go with the talking. Okay, well, people are let's bring the music back. It's celebration time. It's carnival time. What's going on? Didn't realize people have started populating the area. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's going on? Who's in the building? What was this? Okay. Cal L. The world will know that free men stood against a tyrant. A few stood against many. And before this battle was over, even a god king can bleed. Dang. Some poetry from the Cal L. And in comes the man like the red-gloved militant. Uno momento, mami, slow your tempo. Okay, right. The red-gloved militant, congrats on 300 shows. 300. Hey, feels good. Feels good, Red Glove. Feels good. Where we at? Where we at? Let's ring the bell 300. Well, that could be a world record. Might go for the world record after the show. Might go for the world record after the show. Okay, so let's get talking. Let's get talking about this, and I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why. Okay, let's Drake address posted by Kanye West. Drake's address posted by Kanye West over Kim Kardashian. Oh no. Kanye, behave yourself. Anyway, let's come out of that. Why is that running slow? We don't want that. We don't want things running slow over here. Come on. Come on now. Where are we? Where are we? Jeez. Come on. Work with me. Work with me. We're on go slow. Holy hell. We're on go slow. Let's bring that down. Let's go into that. Okay, that's much better. Much better. Okay, so let's get into this thing for real now. For real, for real. What we got? Salute to the Combat Nation. 300th episode. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Subscribe. Do all the good things. Hit the bell icon. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so as we know, over the weekend, we had Manny Pacquiao versus Ugas, Jordanis Ugas, and you remember Ugas was the man with the bionic arm. Let's come out to that. Stop that. He's the man with the bionic arm. Let's have a look at his arm. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Kill the sound on that. Let's get the volume up high. Keep the sound down out of that. And let's share. Jeez Louise. Okay. Right, so. All right. Okay, so the whole thing started off, remember, with Ugas's arm. Well, no. just before the fight, the topic became Ugas's arm. Before that, obviously, Spence dropped out with his eye, his left eye. Errol, left eye, Spence. Ugas, left arm. Jordanis, left arm, Ugas. There was a theme here. Theme was all on the left. The theme was all on the left. What we got? Well, we got the southpaw Ugas with the bionic arm, or it looked like he had a little. Now this was before. This was a year before. Directly 1 year before, and both arms are both symmetrical. They both look the same. 1 year later, let's move on. What's going on? 1 year later, and where is it? Yeah, that's the norm. And we got this. We got this. It'll become clearer later on. And I think I got some pictures too. I know. Where's the pictures? Where's the pictures? The exploding arm, the exploding left arm. Look at it. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. And then Red Glove. I think it was you. I think it was you, Red Glove, who said that the arm is going to be a topic at the end of the fight. But strangely enough, Red Glove, the arm hasn't been too much of a topic. It looks almost twice the size, 33% bigger than the other arm, left arm. But before, a year before, they were both perfectly symmetrical. So that has been very peculiar. That has been very peculiar. But during the fight, we all forgot. We totally forgot about the arm. And why is that? Well, let me take a sip. We totally forgot about the arm. We totally forgot about the arm during the fight, though. And why is that? The reason is because Ugas performed better than we thought he would. I wish I could remember what my prediction was. I remember writing somewhere that I thought Ugas, that Manny Pacquiao was going to win. But I wonder what the ratios were. I wonder what the percentage points were. Because thinking now, I don't think I had much margins in it. I don't think there was much margins in it. And I do think I verbalized the fact that I thought that Ugas was going to be a tougher matchup, a more awkward matchup for Manny Pacquiao. I thought he was the more awkward matchup, the tougher matchup. Ugas, I've seen him fight. The reason people don't talk about Ugas too much is because he's not a scintillating fighter. He's not a scintillating fighter. I said before, it seems like he's got lead in his boots, and he just plants them. He just plants his feet and works a lot inside the pocket. Slip, dodge, slip and dodge and rip, slip and rip, slip and rip. That's his style. And he's not been a crowd pleaser. Ugas has not been a crowd pleaser over the years. But he did what I thought he could do. He did what I thought he could do. Slip and rip all the way. The jab was a thing of beauty. It was splendid. It was a ramrod jab which snapped Manny Pacquiao's head back on the regular. I think this started around in the second round. The first round, it was tight. I was thinking, is it a draw? Is it a draw? You don't want to give draws. Let me stop that. Come out to that and go into the gallery. Yeah, you don't want to give draws, but it's very tight. Very, very, there it is. Tight. There we go. What is this? Stop. move. Okay, there we go. But yeah, he was by the time we got to round 2, Ugas was finding his range. Just took him till round 2, and then the jab came out. As you can see, the taller guy, the longer guy, the more rangy guy, and Pacquiao just couldn't get through as regularly as he wanted to get through. And even when he did get through, a lot of his punches were falling short. And in comes the man like EJ Boxing. How do you do?
EJ Boxing is always live, Rafi. He's always live, man. You know what I mean? as usual, I was listening to your breakdown. You know, it's funny, right? People talking about Ugas's arm and they're thinking he looks big and other. But you see, when the Pacquiao fans, the Manny Pacquiao fans, when they're fighting Manny Pacquiao, they always come up with some weirdness, bro. Make up something. If his arm was injured, the Nevada I think it was in Nevada, they wouldn't have let him fight. They wouldn't let him fight, right? And also, you know, because his one arm's big and the other walking. That doesn't mean because your biceps, but that doesn't mean because I was looking at his previous fight, and his arm looks that way because of the tattoos or whatever. It just looks slightly related, but that had nothing to do in no bearing in the fight. I've never you see, the thing is, if you got a guy with a torn bicep, right, that means they can't lift it or anything like that. As you could see in the picture you had, he put his arms above his head. So there was nothing wrong with that. One arm was bigger. And as you've seen in the fight, that had nothing to do with it. And I picked Ugas to win on points previously before. I picked him to win on points because I said it was a harder fight because he's healthy. He hasn't got a car crash. Makes sense. There's no car. The reason why Manny Pacquiao picked Errol Spence is because he had a car crash. The reason why Manny Pacquiao Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman had a shoulder injury. So these sort of things in the professional boxing, these little things, makes a whole difference. And he didn't look against Keith Thurman didn't look good against Joseba Lopez. So when you look at Errol Spence and his last fight against Danny Garcia, he was moving around, but he didn't want to get hit. So Manny was like, well, boy, if I get close to him, I can hit him. So Manny's whole thing is if he can get close to hit him, Spence would have been in trouble, as you've seen Spence in sparring, which I knew as well. When he was sparring, as soon as the guy hit him once, his eye popped. You know what I mean? That would Manny Pacquiao would have beat Errol Spence, in my opinion. Coming off it, I think he would have beat him. If they have a fight, if Manny still sticks around and Errol was to fight him, I think Manny could probably beat him because I don't think, and I don't know anyone listening has had a car crash. Having a car crash is a horrendous thing. And you don't know what damage was done. As we've seen, his retina's done. He'll probably continue fighting. I don't know if he'll ever be the same again. But regardless of that, the circumstances why Manny picked up. Now you're going against Ugas, healthy. And in fact, he's one of the most voided guys in boxing. He actually beat Sean Porter because Sean Porter was the bigger name. He got the decision. So I looked at it like this: this is a guy that you don't really want to fight. The reason why they picked the fight with Ugas is because he had his knockouts. He's got 12 knockouts. I went, boy, he can't hurt Manny. So Manny could hit him. But what they didn't understand and underestimate, the guy was active, the guy was avoided, and he was busy, and he was fit. And that's what came to play in the fight. He was fit, active, and he had Israel Salis, one of the most gifted minds in boxing, underrated by I must say. In fact, he got Ugas the WBA title, and I think he got another guy a title with the same year. I can't remember. He should have been the trainer of the year last year. He had two guys last year. Before the lockdown, who done it a sensation. I can't remember his name now. It will come to me. But when he had Israel Salis in the corner, you knew he was going to come with a master game plan. And the master game plan was let Pacquiao dictate the pace, and we counter, and we just a bit busy. So Pacquiao started normally how he's moving his head. Ugas was jabbing him. As Pacquiao came in with his lunges, he just covered up and didn't try to fight him. And he didn't hold him. He didn't even hold him. He let Pacquiao work, but he just covered up in the high guard. And Pacquiao realizing that, that stuff usually gets people to fight with him so he can knock you out. And Ugas never exchanged with him, ever, when it up close. And that would wear you out. It'd wear anyone out. If you're in the gym, in a boxing gym, and you're trying to throw punches at someone who doesn't want to throw punches back when you're throwing, and all they do is shell up, that's very hard to beat. And then when you go to relax, now he keeps hitting you. He keeps jabbing, like you mentioned, the jab. He kept peppering. It was like a water torture. The jab. And then all of a sudden he started looping the hooks around Pacquiao's guard. And I said, yo. and if it was a different referee, Pacquiao who probably got stopped with a body shot because their body shots were legal, man. They were legal. They said it was on the belt or whatever. I thought the body shots were legal, and I thought the referee
legal.
Yeah, they look legal to me. They all look legal, and you know, but you know the thing is, as it came down to the scorecards, it was tightening up. But the last 4 rounds,
yeah,
I gave it to Ugas, yeah. But I thought Ugas would. They're probably going to give it to Manny Pacquiao. He's this, that, the other. But they were fair. And you know why they probably gave it to Ugas? Because Ugas is active. We can make more money with him, and Pacquiao's going to probably disappear. You know what I mean? And Pacquiao, and like most boxing Hall of Famers, they don't end in a swan song. Like Henry Cooper never end. He lost to Joe Bagner. Mike Tyson lost to Matt Bride. You know, Evander Holyfield lost fights at the end. You know, and the other one, it's very fair. Like Lennox Lewis and Gene Tunney, that a lot of guys end their career. Floyd Mayweather, they actually end, and Rocky Marciano, they actually end their career on a high. You know what I mean? But bruh, there's far and few between. Everyone I know before, Vittorio Gatti, I could go down a list. Loads of them, yeah, they end up with injuries, busted up. De La Hoya looks like he might get beat up in this fight recently. And it was I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed a very high level technical Cuban boxing by Ugas. I like Ugas. Ugas has hit the jackpot. Everyone's talking about him. Terence Crawford, I think he could beat Terence Crawford. I think he can beat Errol Spence because I think he's got the style, the patient style to beat them. He's fit and he's got Israel Salis. So, you know, that's what I think.
Well, the thing is this. You've watched Ugas before. I've watched Ugas before, but you haven't done any videos raving about him. I haven't done any videos raving about him because, let's be honest, he's been pretty boring previously.
The Sean Porter fight I did. I think I might have covered that one. And with the Sean Porter fight, everyone's seen that fight, so he probably won, but he wasn't getting to see because he's Cuban. Americans don't like Cubans, and Sean Porter, you know, is Sean Porter. But you know, this Manny Pacquiao fight, you know, shit, bruh. You know what I mean? I've heard people saying
that's what I'm saying. People haven't been raving about him before. People haven't raved about him before. The Sean Porter fight.
But he's been avoided. Yeah, but see the thing is, the reason why let me tell you something, Raphael. Let's think about who wants to fight Sean Porter. That's not and Sean Porter struggled. So he's fighting guys that no one actually wants to fight. So that's what he's one of them guys that who needs you, club. You know what I mean? If we can avoid him, we would. That's what people do, and this is why boxing is where it is. I'm glad Ugas won because Ugas is like most boxers who train hard, work hard, and he should get his rewards, man. That's why when you talk about like Crawford and them, it's hard to beat that when you got Crawford and Spence, Manny Pacquiao and all them guys there, but Ugas is not there. But Ugas has beat a Hall of Famer, man. In fact, he outdone something that a lot of fighters haven't done. And Manny Pacquiao, give him credit, said I lost him, even though he said I had cramps, but he said, "No, man, this guy beat me fair and square, man." And he weren't old because he beat Keith Thurman. I reckon Ugas beats Keith Thurman, bruv. His style is that style, Raphael.
Why is everybody raving about Ugas now and they weren't raving about him before? Is my question.
But no, people were saying he was an avoided fighter. He wasn't the most avoided fighter in boxing.
He was an avoided fighter, but the guys he fought, his record, you know, he lost 4. He wasn't knocking people out. He has not been heralded, and this is my hypothesis. This is what I think. Ugas fights up to the level of his opponents.
Yeah.
So if you put him in there with a brilliant boxer such as Manny Pacquiao, that's when you see how good Ugas is.
Well, you see his fight with Ray Robinson.
Ray Robinson, I don't think I've seen that one.
Ray Robinson, you know, he got I think it was Joe Cordina. Joe Cordina. He got the draw with on the AJ card. But Ray Robinson actually won. He blasted out Ray Robinson, bro. He's actually beat some good guys. He actually earned the right to get to his point. And what I'm saying to you is that when you're doing that blue collar work, it's not you won't get that thing. You know what I'm trying to say to you? You won't get that sort of credit until you're put in there. And then what I'm saying, there's 2 fights he's been in there. Arguably, he beat Sean Porter. And now he's just beat Manny Pacquiao. So people knew who he was. But in terms of like raving, because Terence Crawford and Errol Spence are the man's in the division. And now he's on the precipice of beating them. I think he could beat Crawford, man. Because Crawford, I'll tell you why I think he can beat Crawford for everyone listening.
Yeah.
He can beat Crawford because Crawford and his hand management team pick fighters that stylistically are good for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're fighting Ugas, Ugas is not the guy. Oh yeah, let me go fight Ugas. I don't want to fight. Why would you fight him? Now you have to fight him. That's why he could probably beat you. It's always guys. Remember when you're matchmaking against like AJ versus what's his name again?
Pulev?
Yeah. No, not Pulev. The guy he's fighting. What's his name?
Alexander Usyk.
Usyk, right? AJ, right, has to fight Usyk because Usyk earned the right from his cruiserweight days to get there, right?
Yeah.
That's not a fight that the AJ said, "Yeah, let me go fight him." Hell no. But he has to fight him because he's earned the right to get there. You see what I'm saying? Yes. So when you got these guys who earn the right to fight him, these are the hardest fights that your whole team starts worrying because these are the I wouldn't pick him. Your matchmakers wouldn't pick that. But because I have to fight him because he's got the belt. You see what I'm saying? That's the fights that people think. Ugas was that type of guy for Manny Pacquiao. They picked him because he ain't got no power. And we're the bigger name. We should win the fight. But man beat him out of sight. And now Errol Spence and they have to fight him. They're not gonna fear him, no. But if you're a matchmaker, you're like, bro, this is not stylistically, this is a nightmare. He got the Cuban style down part. He's very patient. He plays chess. Chess with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, if you turn up, he turn up. Yeah. If you don't turn up, he ain't gonna turn up. He's cool. He's very economical in what he does, and I liked it, man. Because Manny Pacquiao got frustrated. And you could see it. And Crawford, you look at him coming with his southpaw stance. He just beat one of Manny Pacquiao's a good southpaw. And he ain't gonna have no problem getting in there against Crawford, man. People are like, Crawford gonna blow him up. Well, Crawford gonna have trouble tonight. Yeah, I'm telling you right there, boy. Errol Spence's face is mashed up. Keith Thurman, he can probably beat Keith Thurman. So you're looking at a guy who could probably be the number one welterweight in the thing. And then you would say, well, boy, this guy done it the old way up, and he's busy at Rafi. He's busy. He's not sitting on his pinewood. He's active.
Yeah, he's active. He's the Cuban. He's got that Cuban lineage. He's got one hell of a jab. I've called him lead-footed. But what it is that he gets into the position and he knows you're coming in. And he's confident, and this is to Joshua Buatsi. Let me scroll along. This is to Joshua Buatsi. Joshua Buatsi, with all due respect, you need to watch Yordenis Ugas, how his defense. You need to watch how he has his hands, not up around his chin, but literally up around his head, around the eyes, yeah? Like peekaboo, like little blinders, horse blinders. Whatever you call them. And he keeps his hands up, my friend, and then he dips into the pocket and rips. So none of this wave, got your chin up in the air, got your hands vaguely around your chin. Nah, this guy is studious with his defense. And then when he's in the pocket, mate, he lets rip. So I'm urging Joshua Buatsi to study this guy, study this cat, because he's got the defense, and then it doesn't matter if he's got the weird arm, the weird bicep. He's pumping that out. He's pumping that jab out with the weird arm, with the exploding arm, with the bionic arm. Call it what you will. Something ain't right with it. But it's still working. It's still working. And it was I wasn't going to watch this because I thought it would start at 4 a.m. and finish at 5 a.m. I thought he'd go the distance. I randomly woke up at 5 a.m. and I thought, should be over by now. But let me put Sky on anyway. As I put Sky on, all I could see was Yordenis Ugas with his white coat and the white fur that his wife probably picked out for him, his girlfriend. And it was a big smile. Oh yeah, I followed them on Instagram. All you could see was a big smile from Yordenis Ugas. A big smile, because he knew he'd got his opportunity, and he wasn't going to shirk it. He wasn't going to shirk it, even though it's against one of the all-time greats, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, 42 years of age. Credit to Manny, big credit to Manny Pacquiao for taking the fight. He could have dropped out when Spence dropped out, but he thought, I do training camp. So why not? He's ready. I'm ready. We fight. He's I go back to Philippines and I try to become president. But Ugas there got the Tevin Farmer. That Tevin Farmer look around the eyeballs there.
Yeah, like his cross-eyed. Yeah.
Just like Tevin Farmer. They really resemble in the eyes.
And I look. He's got a look that only his mom could love. Yeah.
Hey, but his lady loves that look as well, though, don't she?
Yeah, because man. Listen, he may look a certain way, but he's rich. Well, you know what I mean? She's Cuban. She's a Cuban thing.
Yes.
And bro, he knows how to do salsa. And you know, and you know what I'm saying? Listen, how he look? This man can pick. This man know how to pick decent girls, man. That girl's pretty, man.
She is a beautiful lady. Beautiful lady. We're gonna take a closer look at her shortly in a bit. Let's listen to what some of the people had to say. Didn't Ugas beat Crawford at the amateur level? I've heard that said, but I haven't.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He did. Confirmed. Confirmed. Okay, that's confirmed. Spence versus Ugas. I got Ugas. He's just fundamentally sound. And it's the same with jiu-jitsu, for example, or anything you do. But let's use jiu-jitsu. In jiu-jitsu, I heard a master say, you only need a certain amount of moves. There's hundreds of moves in jiu-jitsu, but you can get by with 4. You can get by with 4. If you've got those 4 or 5 moves fundamentally down, fundamentally well, if you've got your fundamentals down, then you can achieve a lot, my friend, with fundamentals. And fundamentally, the guy is sound, and it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat a guy who's fundamentally sound. Not impossible, just difficult.
Yeah, I'm watching the fight now. He let Pacquiao lead, and what he did, he just kept picking him slow because Pacquiao come aggressive, and he just let Pacquiao. He moved back a bit and he let Pacquiao throw all these big bombs, and then Pacquiao realized that shit ain't working. And he done what Mayweather done. He kept his distance and kept popping that jab. It looked funny when we first started, but when he loosened up offensively, Pacquiao started realizing, even though with his 12 knockouts, Pacquiao had to start respecting because he was wearing down. Because this is what I'm saying, when older fighter, when they go in there, their conditioning and their condition is not the same as when they're younger. They can go on forever. So as Pacquiao realized, he set a hard pace that he couldn't maintain himself. And Ugas' pace was much slower. You know what I mean? And it suited Ugas. And then Pacquiao went down to his pace. And then that's when Pacquiao started getting peppered because of the range. Ugas never, most guys try to tie him up. And Pacquiao expected that. This guy never tied him up. That means he made this guy work for 3 minutes of every round. That, my friend, is very tiring. You know what I mean?
That is very tiring.
And his body work is impeccable. Bro, he knows that. If you ain't seen it, watch the Ray Robinson. Watch the Ray Robinson fight, and you see him with the Pacquiao fight, the way he beats the drum to the body, woo, he's bad with it, man. He's bad with it.
There was one perfect shot that it was a hook to the body. And Pacquiao just looked at him and smiled as if to say, boy, that was a good one. That was a good one. The way he was circling the hooks around the gloves.
Yeah.
The head. Yes. Just rocking Pac. And then doing the same thing to the body. He would come under. Where's a good example? Oh no, it's going to the head. Huh? Okay. Can't remember that one. That's Pacquiao. Now, let's talk a little bit about Pacquiao. Pacquiao seemed to be getting through oftentimes he was actually falling short. Some of his shots did get through because we saw how pinged up around the eyes Ugas was. but for the most part, they were falling short. They were falling short, or they were at the end of their range when they landed. So he wasn't really getting the shots in to cause major damage. Although he contradicts me there. That's a good one. He got some good ones in. Fair credit due. But these hooks, even though you can see them, and Manny, look at Manny's guard. Look. Manny's got to protect the head and the body. He don't know where it's gonna go. And what happened is he was going around the glove and around the elbow. So there you see, that's a perfect shot there. That shows the confusion that Ugas caused in the mind of Manny Pacquiao. Don't know where he's going. Upstairs, downstairs. Look, he's covering his whole damn self up.
Yeah.
That's a testament. That's a testament to the punch variation of Yordinas Ugas.
What?
Look at the blocking. Look at the blocking.
Right, the blocking, everything, man. Everything. Manny Pacquiao got took into the woodshed, mate.
And look how he's still got his eyes open to see exactly what's going on. Sometimes people close their eyes in those situations. Ugas keeps his eye open because he wants to come and counter after this. Says, get your shot in. But get another one in then. Get another one in. Yeah. But then I'm coming back, right back immediately, like a snapping turtle. And look at this here. It was I was saying, I woke up at 5, turned sky on, and the fight was just starting. Ugas was making his ring walk. I thought, okay, let me get my popcorn. And I'm thoroughly happy that I did so. What a splendid fight. Let me go and top up my drink. Splendid fight.
I you know what, Rafi, that's where it comes down to. You know, when you love this game, you know, we get caught up in the politics, but when we watch the pure fight where you don't know the outcome, you're not really invested in who wins, you just want a good fight. And that's what you got, man. And that's what boxing should about. Like, you know, we get involved in a lot of politics here on YouTube, but for the people who watch the fight, and I understand about the fan bases that people, many a Pacquiao's fan, they feel like they're hard done by. But man, listen, everyone has a start and end date, and his time has come. And now you fan base have to do what are you gonna do? You're gonna leave boxing, or you're gonna find another hero. And my whole thing is this: I went through it. My favorite guy for a long while was Shane Mosley. When he lost, I was hurt. Another guy was Mike Tyson because I followed him when I was young. And when they lost, I was hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I was real hurt. AJ was another one. You know what I mean? I wasn't too bothered when AJ lost that time because I was pissed off with a lot of things he was doing. But when AJ came back, I was so happy. AJ came back and bounced it back and turned that thing around. I was so happy for him, and he's turned it around. And I'm happy if Wilder turns it around. Fury's another one. You know, you join the journey, and you watch some great people go through adversity and come back. And what they're gonna do is that this guy gonna come back, that guy gonna come back, and that's what you saw with Ugas. You watch a guy who, really and truly, if he wasn't with Al Heyman, they would have robbed him and done all kinds of things. Nah, man, he earned the right and done something with his own 2 fists and earned the right, man. Now that fight was pay-per-view. His next fight is gonna be pay-per-view. I think he should fight Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford is pound for pound #1, and I think he gives Terence Crawford trouble. If they can lower Terence Crawford over to Fox pay-per-view, everyone think the welterweight we can get in because Errol Spence and Crawford don't want to fight, but Ugas, you know he'll fight. This guy will fight you, and that's what I want to ride with, a guy who wants to fight you, not with guys who want to make excuses. Ugas is good for the sport. People like Ugas win and they're ready to fight, and they pick Josh Warren. You know, he has to see what he can do against this Lara. I hope that Lara beats him. I hope Lara beats him and goes on the future, because my whole thing was Lara. He's another one. He got the opportunity, short notice, and battered. They called Josh Warren #1. I hope Lara goes on to fight Guy Russell Jr. because the thing, Josh Warren, this guy start playing his politics. I'm not fighting him. He don't sell. When they're out here, I don't want to hear your bullshit, man. You're a fighter. You should be looking to fight the very best in your weight class to say that I was the best. And when your time's up, we can walk back and say, this guy was the best, man. And we start comparing you versus the old timers. When there's people doing that, why are people people don't want to do that. That's why I like watching the old time fights. But I see you got something on the screen about Pacquiao. What's it? Reacts to Ugas. People, listen. Cuba's happy. Cuba's got another champion. It's a long time since Cubans had a relevant champion. Ortiz was supposed to be something. He hasn't lived up to it thus far. But Cubans, man, they are special, man. Do you know Cuban and the way their system?
So what's the difference between Ugas and what's his name? Rigando.
Oh, they're similar. They're very similar. They're very patient. But Ugas is more busy than Rigo. Rigo's, that's the only thing. Rigo's up in age, and Rigo busier. You know what I mean? Ugas is a busier fighter. It's hard not to give him the decision when you see the man working like that. You get me? Rigo's not busy enough. But Rigo's he's another one. Cuban people, they play chess. Yeah. They play chess, man. They don't play checkers. They play chess. They play a game. They think like 3 moves in front of you to see what you're gonna do.
Like Lennox Lewis.
Yeah. That's how they play. Now they learned that, right? When Fidel Castro took back Cuba, did I say Cuba as they call it? Yeah. He took Cuba. America wanted it back when President Kennedy was there. But what they realized is that, well, boy, look, we can't have our country go back with America and turn it into some hoarding, of the Caribbean. Yeah. We want our island back. So Fidel Castro done a deal with Russia. And Russia brought their technical amateur coaches over to Cuba. Now, what you get now is the technical beauty of Russia, because Russians are very technical, right? Yeah. Then you have the Caribbean flavor with the Cubans. So now you have that blend. Now with the, because they like salsa, right? So that's what when you see that style. And now it's the same like the Brazilians, right? The Brazil, Europe football come from Europe, right? But then when you add the Latino flavor in it, it changes. You know what I mean? And they have their own unique free style, like Mantequilla, Jose Napoles. These guys, when you watch them, bro, it's like you can play music in the background and they're moving to the music, bro. You know what I mean?
Teofimo Stevenson.
Exactly. He was born in Jamaica, by the way, right? He was born in Jamaica and grew up, and he grew up in Cuba. But this is what I'm saying. Yeah, because Cuba and Jamaica and the Caribbean, they're right next to each other. Cuba's the biggest. Sorry?
They're next door neighbors.
Yes, Cuba, is the biggest island in the Caribbean, but it's Caribbean. So this is what I'm saying to you. So when you talk about the Caribbean, the people don't mention Cuba. Cuba is a Caribbean island, and it was, obviously the Spanish, they took over that, so they all speak Spanish. Jamaica was took over by the English. Yeah. That's why, that's why we speak English, right? So what I'm saying is that, but the Cubans have the Caribbean thing. The flavor of the food and everything like that. Me and you'd fit right in there. Like you go to their streets, they got music through the streets.
I want to go there.
Everything about them is free spirited.
I want to go there. I want to see it. I want to see it for myself. But
listen. You might not come back. You might not come back now.
What do you think one of them Cuban women are gonna trap the Rafi?
Yeah, well, Rafi, the women will look after you well, treat you like a king. Next you know, you'll come back, and you may never come back, man. When Cuban people, like Nicaragua, they are the most loyalist people ever, bro. They bleed Cuba flag. Even people who left Cuba, they miss it all the time. All they do is talk about it. All they do, you see, Dawkins Ugas after the fight, free Cuba from thing, but bro, Cuba's free, but they're communist. They believe everyone should have the same. They don't believe in capitalism where, over here you have the poor, very poor, you have the very rich. They believe everyone should be the same, which is, I ain't got no problem with that. But at the same time, some people are greedy. They want to be more. And let's
check out what the fight doctor is saying. Let's check out what the fight doctor is saying. Come on in.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status, as always. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, the Fight Doctor, and welcome.
Yes, Fight Doctor. Nice one.
Hello and welcome. Come on in.
I'm enjoying the history and cultural lesson on the island of Cuba.
Yeah, we don't want to give them too much. We drip feed them. We drip feed them over here. We don't want to give them the full plate. Don't want the bellies to get too full. Just enough, just to get the calorific requirements. But come on through, Fight Doctor.
Yeah, no, I've just been over the weekend. I've been in awe in how the Pac-Tards have been. I mean, they've totally lost it. They are besides themselves, and I'm thinking that perhaps the Pac-Tards need to be on like mass suicide watch. Shout out to Mr. Ross.
Yeah, I don't really have much time for the extremities, for the extremists. You know what I'm saying? I just call it like I see it. I ain't on either wagon. I just call it like I see it.
I don't understand why everybody is surprised and up in arms. I mean, yes, it was an upset, but this wasn't exactly unexpected. At least it shouldn't have been unexpected to anyone who's been paying attention to Manny Pacquiao's career, right? And look, at the end of the day, Udonis Ugas did not get the memo. Okay, he didn't get the memo. Now, Pacquiao's last couple of opponents, they all got the memo. Keith Thurman, he got the memo. The guy before Keith Thurman, who did Pacquiao fight before Keith Thurman? I forget. But whoever was that guy, he got the memo. But this guy, he didn't get the memo. And the memo was, you are not at your best. You're coming off of an injury or a performance where you didn't look stellar. Okay, this guy, he didn't get that memo. Right? This guy, he actually showed up. He didn't appear to be injured. All right. I mean, there was a lot of talk about that arm. I didn't see that. I mean, the way his left hand appeared to me as if it were surgically connected to Pacquiao's face. Okay. As often as he was popping it and landing it. Okay. Body shots. Had that been Spence, I suspect Pacquiao would have gotten knocked out because Ugas was putting in some very good body work that Pacquiao did not like.
And I just have to say that it's the Rafi birthday week, and I've been graciously given something I've never tried before. It's
Gordon. I tried that. That's very powerful. That's some powerful shit, Rafi. You might be breathing fire. But I happy birthday, Rafi, man. Congrats, man, to your birthday. But that's some powerful TNT stuff there.
Oh, happy birthday to Rafi. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's not today, it's during this week, but the Rafi keeps the date secret. It's like it's one of my superpowers. But anyway, thank you. The person I shall not name, but thank you very much. It's one of my neighbors, so none of you know. But thank you very much. I will be pouring a glass of this right now as the Fight Doctor gives his soliloquy.
Wow. I tell you what, you better hope you might not finish the show, but go ahead, Fight Doctor. That stuff's powerful. Go ahead, Fight Doctor.
Smells lovely.
Yeah, so pour me a shot. And so yeah, I'm not surprised at the outcome.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. I'm glad I spent the $75 on pay-per-view. Considering that it was marketed as Pacquiao's last fight, which very well could be. I don't think so, but very well could be.
Let me ask that's the next question. Do you think this is Well, you just said you don't think so. Why don't you think so? I think it is Pacquiao's last fight. Manny's reputation is intact. I thought he was a great fight. I've had who was it said to me that they hope that Manny takes a soft touch in his home country just to round off his career. I don't think he needs it. I think this is it. That was a great fight. Why go out on a lesser fight? This was a great fight. Go out now. This was great. This is not going out on a downer. This is going out on an upper. Ugas was given the WBO type belt, and now from Pacquiao, took from Pacquiao, given to Ugas, and now Ugas has legitimately taken it from Manny Pacquiao, and I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
why do you think Pacquiao doesn't retire? And then I'm going to go to EJ and ask him his opinion.
Well, so here's what I understand. What I understand is politically, Pacquiao was not doing so well back in the Philippines. Okay. So my thought is this: if his political career in the Philippines goes south, then what else is there left for him to do except come back and fight? Now, if he runs for president of the Philippines and he's elected, then we won't see him again.
Right.
But if that doesn't happen, if he loses, or if he's, if whatever his political aspirations, if they fall short, and the bills are constant, then I suspect we'll see Pacquiao in the ring again.
Interesting. 43-44. EJ Boxing Live.
I feel Pacquiao's already what? I think Pacquiao's he's already a congressman already in the Philippines. He's already an ambassador. To run a country, that's a whole new different ball game. Vladimir Klitschko, Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev. You know what I mean? To be in the but bro, you're not with people you can fight face to face. You're with slime balls, man. And these people are sneaky and slime balls. And to hold the country, you have to do things that doesn't really do you well. The Philippines is very poor. Half the Philippines was colonized by America. They have Spanish names. They're very mixed up in terms of that. They're very poor. Manny Pacquiao's their hero. You know what I mean? He's the hero. He can do no wrong. But you see other politicians, when they want to do you, they'll plot things on you, make it seem like you're not all that more. And they've done that. You've seen that. So, Manny Pacquiao being the it sounds all good and stuff like that, but realistically, it's like, boy, I can't see him being that. But he's already an ambassador for the Philippines, and the Philippines never had someone like that represent their country so well. It's a downer that he comes back and lost, but at the same time, does he need the money? He likes giving out the money to the people because they're poor and helping people and stuff like that. But you know how people are when you treat people who never had something, and you give them, they're happy. But I know that most times when you help people who think they need the help, they really turn on you. And Pacquiao's gone back as a loss. So it made, people are selfish. Like, you lost the last fight, man. You lost the last fight. So I don't know how much that will help him in his process of trying to be the president of the film, because people are more scheming and they're more thing. To be a president of a country is a big mammoth task. You first and foremost, it's not really you become the figurehead, right? That everyone loves. But you need to have an all encompassing team, bro. You need to have a real team. And having Boo Boy and them guys there and Freddie Roach in your team in the congressman, I don't know how that's gonna work, really. I don't think he needs to come back to fight. Like I said, he's already a congressman. But Manny Pacquiao is represent his country like Azuma Nelson is represent his country. Like Anthony Joshua represents the UK, Vladimir represents the Ukraine, and Lomachenko and the other people. And I think, when it's all said and done, when we think about the Philippines and boxing, Manny Pacquiao's based there. You know what I mean? And I think that will be his legacy so far as politician. That's a whole new different ball game. And like I said to you, these guys are more slippery than Mayweather. So I don't think he'll come back to boxing. He doesn't need boxing. You know what I mean? I think I think all he wants to do is help people in his country, his native country, and make them feel how he felt, because he comes from poverty, which is a beautiful thing. So we'll see how that works. But his fan base is wicked though, because they're the one who put out that thing about the arms. And I know it was them. They do all them cruel things, say his arms, something wrong with his arms. And
hold on a second though. But what's the advantage in Pacquiao people saying there's something wrong with his arm? What's the advantage? What
they're trying to?
He beat Pacquiao with the arm.
No, but what you see, the thing is, all these little things they used to do with Floyd, right? They put all these weird things out there in the media to persuade you that he's a weirdo, or he's cheating, or he's on drugs or something like that. That's what I thought. It was like he's taking steroids in his arm. So you know what I'm saying? Like to boost up, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I took it.
Why wouldn't he take it in both arms though?
Yeah, you see, this is what. But you see the madness of the. When YG was the one who showed me this. I was like, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with his arm, because when someone says something wrong, first what you look at what they're telling you, then you have to look at the previous fights before, and his arm always looks that way. But you see that if his arm was injured, he wouldn't be able to lift it and all that stuff. So I knew that was.
What's the advantage to the Pacquiao people if Pacquiao to get beaten with somebody with a damaged arm? I think they will. I think it was either mocking or basically trying to say that this guy's cheating. That's So they were trying to come with. Even in any case, they had to sit there and get him. They had to sit there for 12 rounds and watch their guy get. Manny Pacquiao fan. Listen, Fight Doctor know they are vicious. The Manny Pacquiao fan base they're the most vile fan base I've ever seen. They are relentless, racist, hardcore, fucking. You can't tell them nothing, right? Some of them, not all of them. So I can't say some of them, not all of them, right? The ones I've encountered,
they are stiff with it. You know, Lee Tyson Fury fans, you might have a conversation. The Manny Pacquiao fans, listen, Rafi, I'm telling you, bro, if you have a conversation, they'll want to kill you, man. And they call you all kind of names as well. I've never encountered a fan base like Mayweather fan bases. They're not trying to flag your channels. They're not trying to, you know, bro. They are really possessed, man. And the thing is, remember again, they never had a champion like that before. So it's new to them. So you have all these new people or new to boxing coming out with this madness now. See, Ukraine, the UK, we've had champions. There's nothing to.
I think this is his mom.
Who's that?
I think that's
Ugas' mom.
I think
Ugas' his mom.
I think so.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay. So
you picture of his wife would be better though, but still.
Yo, you have to respect the mother before you look at the wife. And they have the child. There's the son. Am I sharing? Yeah, there's the son in the corner there. Yeah. So you don't. Okay, so I've got your opinion. You don't think he's well.
I don't think he needs to come back in regards to what Fight Doctor. But I hear what Fight Doctor's saying. That's a possibility what Fight Doctor's saying, because in the history of boxing, that could be a fact. I don't think that's the case. But you know, is he going to come back to fight? And if he was, I think if he was to come back, I think he takes a rematch with Ugas and settles that. If he really wants to.
Rematch with Porter, you mean?
No, Manny Pacquiao you're talking about.
Well, he has a built-in excuse.
Rematch? Built-in excuse?
Yeah, well, he fought him on 10 days' notice.
And he said he had cramps.
And he had the leg cramps, so he's got built-in excuse.
Leg cramps.
That's what he said. So he said. He said it's not an excuse, though.
So he said. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said, she said. Okay. So I think it would be rude. It would be rude of us not to have a little quick look at some of his some pay respects to his wife. I think we need to pay. Respect to his wife there. We need to pay respects. We've already seen that one. There she is. We gotta pay respects.
There's better pictures than that, bro. There's some tasty one. She was bad with it at the fight, man, with her blonde head. She was bad. It looked like she's had Botox around her mouth, though. I couldn't tell you, but she still looked good. And she had her teeth done. You know what I mean? But they look like a nice couple, Like it's funny. They look perfect. You know what I mean? Because he someone along there, you could see a couple. They actually look like a couple. You know what I mean? It's like I see the one looks. They look like a couple, man.
They do.
Like Amir Khan and his wife. I don't know if they look like a couple. They look like they met.
We know too much. We know too much about them. We know about the squabbles. We know that she brought Anthony Joshua into the thing. Said that she was having an affair with Anthony Joshua, which I thought was unnecessary. I thought that was unnecessary. She didn't have to. She didn't have to put the man out on Main Street or come up fabricate the story like that.
Carl Froch and his wife, they look like a couple as well. Andre Ward and his wife, they look like a couple. There's certain fighters, that you see them with their girl. Like when you used to see Mary with Miss Jackson, for whatever reason, it's like, yo, she looked like she was a cut above you. Is that Ugas' wife there? My gosh. Is that Ugas' wife? My gosh. My gosh, bro.
Yo, I have to take a toast to that one.
Man.
I have to take a toast to this one.
Something worth fighting for.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing, I'm not even jealous of him. I'm like, in my opinion, I feel a boxer of the caliber of work he puts in. He deserves a wife. He deserves a wife like that.
He
deserves a wife like that. You know what I mean? And he deserves a good piece, man. A good piece.
Cuban woman.
If you ever see Sakia Bika's wife, I say, bruv.
I've seen her.
Now she may do all the cooking and cleaning and everything you want, but I'm like,
that's some madness.
But that one there, I say, yo, man, that one there, I say, yo, Even I remember Austin Trout's wife as well. She's nice as well. She look all right as well. Tim Bradley. I think Tim Bradley. I said Tim Bradley. He looks like
is he as short as Mayweather?
He's our same height. He's 5'7".
Wow.
Tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah, the welterweight. The referees. Welterweight division is tiny. Yeah, the welterweights.
This guy was taller.
Nah, man. They didn't our TV make you look. Nah, these boxers, Rafi, are very short. Dang. Boxers not very short. Like heavyweight division is different, but like cruiserweight boxers in general are like 5'7", 5'8". You know when we get to super middleweight, they get near 6 foot sometimes. Yeah, man.
Yeah, shorter than I possibly imagine. But yeah, you're right. It's welterweight. They're welterweight. Them guys are down there. Them guys are down there in the.
Yeah, you're not used to. Yeah, Rafi's not. The Raf dog's not used to that weight class. I know Rafi, you know, but
I'm not used to that shortness. I'm not used to them shortness. But anyway, with his popularity, what it is in his homeland, he makes the perfect political puppet. Oh gosh, puppet. Antonio WHU and Antonio was world. Who's WHU?
What the hell you? What the?
I don't know. What don't Fury look like? A good couple of ways, man.
Who's that? Why does she? She's Filipinian. Yeah, that girl look that her and Wilder. They actually look like a couple though. Wilder, you know what I mean? But you see, Wilder, I don't think Wilder. You see, this is what I feel, right? I feel Ugas, yeah. If he wasn't boxing, I think he'd still get something because he does Cuba. I know he does salsa. If you ever do salsa in Cuba, the type of girl he's got, they all look like that. They all in salsa. That's why a lot of guys go to Cuba because the women look that way. You know what I mean? And look, he met Kobe. He's with Kobe Bryant. That they all look in that kind of way. So I think Ugas has looked the kind of guy in Cuba. That girl's got a back off. They kind of get. I think he seems like he's got swagger. You know what I mean? He looks like to me. He's got a kind of. Even he look like a type of guy. He can go up to a girl and have swagger. Yeah. Like when other guy, you can see other guys when they're with their girls. Like, yo, bro, you had to. It's because you got paper, bro. She looked like she looked to me. She'd roll with him even if he didn't have paper. To me, she ain't with him because he's got money, man. No, it doesn't look.
She looks loyal.
She doesn't look like that.
She looks like she's a loyal girl. Looks like a loyal
girl.
Yeah,
she looks like she genuine rolls with him. I remember Antonio Margarito's wife, she was there until the paper dried up, and the paper dried up, she went as well. And she actually went with his brother, I think she actually went.
Jeez.
Yeah, hey, bro. Joe Kazagi, he had a girl. She used to have a, Baymo, she was with him. She had a mole on her face. And she looked she was all right. TV. Next thing you know, he replaced her with a girl with bigger breasts, bigger lips. And next thing you know, he turned into a crackhead. Listen, man. Listen, man name. You
better off with your day one. You better off.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that you better off with Adrian from Rocky. That kind of go, and hopefully she gets better as time goes on.
Yeah, you're scared of personal trainer, ones that's gonna trouble her, same sex, female, and make sure they do the training at home. You join in with the sessions, and it's good for everybody.
Yeah. My man saying it's West Ham United. Yes, West Ham United, Mr. Dawkins.
Yeah, West Ham United. Yeah, man. So something. I think we've paid respects to his wife. I think we've paid respects to his wife.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Why not?
We need to pay respect. We need to pay a visit to her sister.
Oh wow!
You got a sister? Oh yeah, the sister was good as well. Yeah, the sister was good to go as well. Wow. But the thing is, hey, you need to know salsa, you need to speak Spanish, and then you'll be in with the family. I think you have to meet, she's type of girl, you have to meet the family, the dad. Yeah. I don't think, in Cuba, I don't think you can just roll up and take their women like that.
The old-fashioned way. You got
they do.
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I think they do.
That's the way Rafi was raised, so that ain't no thing to me. That ain't no thing to me. That's how Rafi was raised. Old school. Old school.
Because Wilder, I feel like if Wilder wasn't where he was, maybe Wilder doesn't meet that type of girl. You know what I mean?
That type of girl, come on.
I don't think in Alabama. I don't think he's meeting that kind of Filipino thing.
I don't think so. But
nah.
You know something? This is the Box Rec rankings, and Fight Doctor. There's a couple of names. That have been stricken from the Box Rec rankings.
Where's Tyson Fury?
Where's Deontay? Where's Deontay Super Wilder?
Somebody over there.
Wow,
somebody over there. Now go ahead, EJ. Go ahead.
Oh, go
No,
ahead.
this thing from you know these guys who do this. They're based in Sheffield. But go ahead.
EJ, I just really want to hear Fight Doctor talk on this first.
Yeah, somebody over there is obviously smoking crack.
EJ, put it out. Put it out. Put it out.
Because this is irresponsible. They both have a fight signed and scheduled coming up in a couple of months. So why would you drop them from the rankings? I don't understand.
They're inactive. They've been out of the ring for what? 18 months, 19 months?
Yeah, and there's a worldwide pandemic going on. So it's irresponsible. Listen, if the cough were not happening right now, then I can understand. Yeah, they're inactive. But the cough is going on. So I don't understand. And then above and beyond that, they both have a fight. They have a fight coming up in a matter of months, weeks. So why would you remove them from the? I can understand if the fight got canceled. Then yeah, but they're fighting in weeks, and you drop them from the rankings. That doesn't make any sense. Somebody over there smoking crack, but that's okay.
No, but listen. The thing is,
what happens if they don't make it to the ring this time in October? Where are we now? August, September, October. It's 2 months time.
Okay, look, if they don't make it to the ring in October and you want to drop them from the rankings, I have no problem. No argument for me. All right, it's been over 2 years. Okay, yeah, it's been about 2 years, so then yeah, fine.
But
drop them from the rankings, no problem.
But you see the thing is, when I go boxing, right, I check the stats on the boxing and when they're fighting and this and that. But for rankings, I understand Rafi, Rafi's there, but in all the legit rankings, because BoxRec is that they're known for stats on the fighter. Not necessarily for their rankings, right? But if you go to the legit rankings, ESPN, the Ring Magazine, and the WBA rankings, the divisional rankings, as IQ Boxing calls it, right? Yeah. The major rankings, Fury's on every single one of them, right? Now, the reason maybe because they've took him out of the rankings is maybe I believe.
Don't forget what you're gonna say, but I just received a WhatsApp message. It looks like it's somewhere in South America, and this lady, it's a funeral of a young man, and this lady is performing lewd acts for, I guess, is her deceased boyfriend. So he's in his coffin, he's in the casket, and she's performing lewd acts.
Who's in the coffin?
Her boyfriend who's dead. And
who are you talking about? Who?
It's a WhatsApp I've received from South America, and there's a young man lying in a coffin dead, and he's at the funeral now. There's people all around, and she's performing lewd acts on his corpse.
What's that got to do with the boxing rankings we're talking about?
Well, this is just some crazy shit I've just seen. I just had to pass on.
Rafi, sometimes you get shit. Yeah, no, it's not for air. I don't think that's for the air.
We have to share. We have to share these things. But carry on, EJ. Carry on.
Thank you, Rafi. I think the divisional rankings on every major ranking. If I go to the Ring Magazine, this the magazine, the rankings I go to is the Ring Magazine. Even though I know the own guy Oscar De La Hoya, and I go to ESPN because ESPN, as you know, the top rank and stuff like that. I usually go to them two rankings. And then as I'm going to these rankings right now, right, and I'll go to ESPN, and I can tell you, and Rafi is good that Rafi goes to the BoxRec rankings, to check out what they're saying over there. But as I go to the official rankings who've been doing boxing for an age, right, the champions, right, they'll lay out the heavyweight division as follows, yeah, right, as follows, simple as that. Anthony Joshua, WBO, IBF, WBA. Tyson Fury, WBC champion, yeah. Well, that's how they laid out on the Ring Magazine. Heavyweight on the heavyweights. 1 second, because I'm on the pound for pound. 1 second. 1 second. On the heavyweights, we have
the Ring Magazine's corrupt.
Yeah, listen, the Ring Magazine been the Bible of boxing for long. The number one champion is Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White. Tyson Fury,
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Dillian White. And I would agree with what they got. I'd agree that Tyson Fury is the number one, Anthony Joshua number two, or one or two. But the thing is, yeah, I would change them. The thing is, yeah, I would change them around.
Yeah.
Recorded. So Anthony Joshua's gonna fight Usyk, right? If Anthony Joshua beats Usyk, I'm putting him number one. You see what I'm saying? But if Tyson Fury,
he's already got a greater body of work than Tyson Fury.
No. But But listen, it doesn't. Even though you interchange them, it doesn't matter. They have to fight each other. So what I'm saying is that when it comes down to one or two, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day they're gonna have to fight, and it can only be one. So you could put them, and you can make arguments for both of them, and you can make legit arguments for both. But the bottom line is that they have to fight each other to get clarity that no one can tell you nothing, and that's what it's about. When Mike Tyson was there, and Mike Tyson was there, Lennox Lewis was there, and Mike Tyson was last guy. Even though Lennox Lewis was the number one heavyweight champion, he knew, and he had all the belts and everything, right? He knew, right? If I don't fight this bloody Mike Tyson, they're gonna say, "Well, you never beat Mike Tyson. You never beat Mike Tyson." It's the same thing, Anthony Joshua. He can have all the belts he like, but if you don't beat Tyson Fury, they're gonna. Tyson Fury, on the other hand, it's like, well, boy, if I don't beat Anthony Joshua, I beat Wilder. I beat Klitschko. But Anthony Joshua, I beat Klitschko as well. And then you know what? I'll go and beat Wilder. So they have to fight each other. The argument to me is like, well, we don't need to argue if you're going to fight. And that's what we've been talking about with Ugas.
We don't know if they're going to fight, brother. We don't know if they're going to fight.
You know, listen.
Listen. Talking about Tyson Fury here. That man can disappear for 2 years just like that.
Let me say something, yeah? Let me come down to this, right? If Tyson Fury was to quit and never do it again, right? People in England, they might laud him as the best champion. But everyone knows in their head, no one in their right mind was going to look at Tyson Fury and say, well, boy, you better than Anthony Joshua. You got mad ticket sales. He's the most charismatic champion, even surpassing Frank Bruno. He's been a gold medalist. He's done everything the right way. When it's all said and done, Anthony Joshua will surpass Tyson Fury in every way. Tyson Fury, he's even surpassed him already in record sales, thingy sales. The only thing he hasn't done is he has Tyson Fury's scalp. Tyson Fury and Joshua need each other to secure their legacy in the heavyweight division. That's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
Fight doctor, comment on that. Did you hear what EJ just said?
Yeah.
So, and I agree. However, what I will say is this, is that at the end of the day, if you compare Tyson Fury's 3 best wins to Anthony Joshua's 3 best wins, Tyson Fury comes out on top, right?
We're not just talking about 3 fights, brother. We're talking about catalog. We're talking about the resume, brother. That's more than 3 fights, brother. That's
again,
like 40 fights.
If you compare Tyson Fury's 3 best wins,
we're not talking about 3 though, brother. We're talking about the body of work. That's more than 3 fights. It's no charity.
Listen,
it's
if
no
you
let him finish, bro. You gotta let him finish, though. You gotta let him finish, Raphael. Come on.
I'm going for a drink. Carry on.
If you subtract Anthony Joshua's 3 best wins from his resume, the result are tomato cans.
Absolutely.
All right. I mean, like, yeah, you can make a stew, and a very good one, from all the tomato cans on the left. So when we talk about Anthony Joshua's fact, it's the same is most likely true for Tyson Fury. If you subtract his 3 best wins from his resume, most of that is garbage, tomato cans. Okay. So, but we can get to the nook and cranny. We can get to the meat of the situation when we look at their 3 best wins. And in my mind, when we look at Fury's 3 best wins, compare those to Joshua's, Fury's on top. So I agree when EJ says that they need each other. However, I would add that Joshua needs Fury more than Fury needs Joshua, because Fury has already beaten the best heavyweight, right? Joshua has yet to do that.
No, he beat the best heavyweight. They both beat the best heavyweight. They both beat Klitschko. What are you talking about?
Listen,
and furthermore, I'm responding to what you said. And furthermore, Joshua has beat somewhere in the region of 6 or 7 fighters who were ranked in the Ring Magazine top 10. Okay? Fury and Wilder have only beat 2 each. That makes 4. So they've beat combined. They've beat less consensus top 10 fighters than Anthony Joshua. Combined. Case explodes.
You need to go to Cuba and find you a nice woman so you can not have to play with your Tinkerbell, okay, anymore. So, like I was saying, look.
Why are you mad?
I am not angry.
Why
I'm just explaining the situation as I see it. Now, if you wish to consider all those tomato cans that Anthony Joshua is knocked over, fine. Make the most exquisite stew that you can. Okay. But at the end of the day, this whole argument about they both beat Klitschko. Klitschko was coming off of a loss.
A loss to a guy who should not have been fighting him in the ring, a man who should have been on a drug suspension.
Would have, could have,
my friend, is what you call a no contest.
Would have, could have, should have. What do the record books say?
Well, the record books can and will change. It happens all the time, my friend. Check out the Olympics. They retrospectively pull out dopers from the record books.
When Tyson Fury's win,
altered and changed.
Okay, so when Tyson Fury's win over Vladimir Klitschko is changed from a win to a no contest or a loss, then we can revisit this conversation. But until that time, Joshua beat a guy who was coming off of a loss in Vladimir Klitschko. So this whole notion that he was the number one heavyweight in the world, okay. If that's the argument we wish to make, then again, you're proving my case because Tyson Fury beat a guy who had been undefeated for a decade, right? So to somehow make it seem like the two victories are equivalent to each other, they're not. There's a huge difference.
If you can't understand the problem with the doper, the guy who doped for his previous fight, if you can't understand the problem with that alleged victory, then I don't know what to tell you. Let's have a look. Have a listen to Cristiano Wu. He says this debate has been overdone. We all know AJ barely managed to get past an old Klitschko, and since then has not faced an elite opposition. Now that's interesting. Plus, he still won one with Andrew Ruiz. Well, that's interesting because
you need to be ringing your Tinkerbell right about now. You need to be playing with your Tinkerbell.
Well, I'm going to ring it in a second. I'm going to play with it in a second. That's interesting because as far as I recall, Fury went 12 rounds with Klitschko. As far as I recall, apparently you've forgotten, Anthony Joshua knocked out Klitschko. It was a TKO.
Wasn't Klitschko up on the scorecards?
I don't know.
Klitschko was up on the scorecards, if I'm not mistaken.
In what round did that fight finish, Doctor?
Joshua finished him off in the 11th round. I don't know why you're making such a big deal.
There we go.
I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of the fact that Fury went 12 rounds. It took Anthony Joshua 11 rounds. Look, first of all,
he knocked him out.
Klitschko dropped Joshua and dropped him, put him down hard. Okay, let's not. Listen, I love your selective memory. Okay, how you are so selective with the facts and how you remember how certain events took place. As I recall,
am I lying? Did Anthony Joshua not TKO Vladimir Klitschko?
Did he not get dropped in the process?
He knocked him out. Knocked his ass out.
Knocked his ass out.
Andy Joshua's win is more impressive than Tyson Fury's. It is. It was a massive global event. Now listen to this, right? Listen. So, but the thing is, he beat him first, and he knocked him out. Same thing. Mayweather was getting Pacquiao. Mayweather beat Hatton, right? Beat him, stopped him. Pacquiao came and beat him quicker. They have to fight each other. Like the argument, like what my man said is, you just going around. Until they fight, this is gonna keep going. You have to acknowledge, and they need to fight.
Do you think they are going to fight EJ boxing?
Yeah, they could. Listen, let me say something. Lennox Lewis asked him. He couldn't sleep in his bed. Man was riding him. You didn't do that to Mike Tyson. Even when he beat David Tua. Well, that ain't David Tua ain't Mike Tyson. Bro, Tyson Fury, every time, well, you ain't beat Andy Joshua. You know what I mean? You ain't, bro, there ain't none of his fan base saying, well, boy, you could retire now and you're good. Well, you ain't beat Andy Joshua. And the thing, he need Andy Joshua because he got the biggest payday. He got the biggest payday of his career. Andy Joshua needs Tyson Fury, right? Like they need each other. So we can go argue and backwards and forwards. All you do, we help build the fight. But you have to acknowledge these guys.
You think it's going to happen?
Rafi, I'm as sure as EJ boxers I am telling you, they have to fight each other for their own salvation. Okay. That's how he is.
the fight doctor. Do you think Tyson Fury fights Anthony Joshua, or does he retire again?
I honestly, I don't know, because listen, here's what I'm certain about. There are no certainties where Tyson Fury is concerned. There's nothing certain about him, right? I'm not even convinced he's going to make it to the fight in October, to be completely honest. So if asking me what he's going to do 6 months, a year from now, I have no clue. I have no idea. He may not make it to the fight in October.
I'm still dubious that he makes it to the fight in October. If he's not going to make the fight, then just let us know. Go, you're the champion in recess. Go ahead and recuperate whatever it is you got to do. Convalesce, whatever it is you got to do. Step aside. Let Dillian White come through and ride up on the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and watch the Bronze Bomber run to the hills.
That's the fight. So if Fury ain't gonna know what Fury ain't. Listen, bro. Listen, he talked himself into it. They have to go. I'm very confident. Like you look at this right now, yeah. Kell Brook and Amir Khan, right? They talk about that fight right now. Now the money they would have got back in the days is more, but they can still generate money. They can't leave it, man. You remember I said these guys are fighters. That's what they do, even if it's years later and it's past their sell-by date. Rafi, which is possibility, they have to fight. Simple. They have to fight because it's just the way it is. Manny Pacquiao, Floyd couldn't do nothing. He couldn't leave it out. He couldn't. If he retired, he could do what he wanted. They were riding with that Pacquiao joint. Pacquiao was riding him. Freddie Roach was riding him. He couldn't leave it. And then when they did that, they tried to put the MMA guy on him. So you got another guy for me? Then he left. Then he got the YouTuber they put on him. It's like, yo, you're always trying to get someone to beat me, and the bottom line, they know they can't beat him, and that's why some people have to yield. But Rafi, as sure as I'm telling you, bro, they have to fight him. And if you know what the thing is, you know the worst thing about it, they don't fight. One of a young fighter will come along and beat them both, and then what? See, this is what boxing's like. So you have to fight while it's hot, strike while the iron's hot. So don't feel no ways. You know what I mean? I can't see the mega fights are gonna happen. Maybe not when we want them to, but they'll still happen. That's my last word.
All right, with EJ, that was EJ Boxing Live. He very kindly took time out of his day to come over here and share his thoughts, views, and observations with you, Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Crew. So be sure to go check him out and make sure you've smashed the like button. EJ Boxing Live, much appreciated, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks, Raphael. Let me come over. You know, always good to catch up in the fight, Doctor. You know, Caleb Plant. Hopefully, he beats Canelo Alvarez to cap off a great.
No chance. He's got no chance. He's got less chance than Billy Joe Saunders.
You know what? I'm sure Ugas had less chance to beat Manny Pacquiao, but that's why he was the fight. Let me tell you why he won't beat him. He's fighting him on his platform. Canelo Alvarez has been fighting potatoes for the longest. He's been fighting hand-picked fighters. The thing is, Caleb Plant picked him. And I told you already, the most dangerous fight is a fight that you pick. Caleb Plant is cagey. He's very busy. And for the first time, Canelo's going to fight a guy who can hit him and move like Mayweather. So I think he could beat him on points and Canelo on his bullshit. So I got Caleb Plant out from now. Laying out from now. I pick him out from now. So but I'm saying boxing's good.
Plant can't do nothing to Canelo. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Well,
nothing. Let me say in Cockney. Nothing.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing.
Well, we got your prediction now on Wax on the channel, so that's good.
That's on Wax and on the tracks.
Yeah. So that's a good thing, Rafi. So like I said, you know, I really appreciate you coming over. You know, not all the time I come over, but you know, this fight really, the Ugas fight and Pacquiao drew me over. And, you know, conclusion to Pacquiao's career, very entertaining, very busy. And if you can sit back and you got that, there's any Pacquiao fight, you're not bored of none of Pacquiao. There's no way you go to many Pacquiao fights and be bored. You know what I mean? So, and it was a good breakdown from Rafi. It's always good to see the fight doctor. You guys in the chat, keep supporting Rafi. You know, make sure you thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're not already. and keep watching boxing. Appreciate it, Fight Doctor. Take care, Rafi, and thanks for letting me over.
And
Shout out to
was
EJ.
The EJ Boxing Live. And then there were two. Fight Doctor, your final words, please.
So I'm looking at the scorecards for the Joshua Klitschko fight.
Yeah.
One of the judges had Klitschko up.
One of the judges had Klitschko up. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
One of the judges had Klitschko up. So how is that more impressive than what Tyson Fury was able to do? Tyson Fury got a unanimous decision.
Shout out to the Tone is dropped in a donation for the 300th edition. Raphael Door Boxing Talk with Rafi 300. So that is much appreciated. Carry on, the Fight Doctor.
Yeah, so the next time you bring up the fact that Joshua beat Klitschko and this, that, and the other, just remember and that it was more impressive than what Tyson Fury was able to do. One of the judges in the fight between Joshua and Klitschko, one of the judges had Klitschko up. Klitschko was winning the fight on one of the judges' scorecards.
1-1-1. So that means that Joshua was winning on two judges' scorecards. Am I correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's correct.
And not only was he winning on two of the judges' scorecards, he then goes out to knock Klitschko out. Is that not
how many times did Klitschko
is that not correct, sir?
How many times did Klitschko put Tyson Fury on the canvas?
Did Anthony Joshua not knock out Vladimir Klitschko?
Sir, that was not the question. So
that was the question.
All right. So what I want you to do right now is to take your focus off of Tinkerbell, okay, and just focus on what we're talking about, the topic at hand. Right?
Did Anthony Joshua knock out Vladimir Klitschko?
And the question is, how many times did Vladimir Klitschko put Tyson Fury down on the canvas?
That was not the question. I asked you before you asked that question. Did Anthony Joshua not knock out Vladimir Klitschko?
Yes, he did. He knocked him out.
So he was up on two judges' scorecards and he knocked him out. What more?
You do realize, of course.
What more do you want?
You do realize, of course, that's not quite as impressive as having outboxed Vladimir Klitschko, because he's been knocked. So he had been knocked out 3 times prior, before meeting Anthony Joshua, but he had actually never been outboxed. You realize that, of course, right?
Who had never been outboxed?
Vladimir Klitschko. He'd never been outboxed.
Yeah, if you call what Fury did outboxing, then I don't know what to tell you, my friend. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what that was one of the most.
Anthony Joshua knocks out Vladimir Klitschko. So you realize, of course,
boring championship.
You realize, of course, that lesser fighters have done it and did it more impressively and did it sooner and did it without getting knocked down in the process.
Who did that? Who did
Ross
that?
Purity. Ross Purity. He knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. Ross Purity.
Corey
Sanders did it in 2 rounds.
Yeah. We know the history.
Lamont Brewster did it in, I think, 5 or 6 rounds.
We know the history of before Vladimir Klitschko.
So when you're hanging your hat, when you're hanging your Anthony Joshua hat,
he got with Emmanuel Stewart. We know the history.
No. So
we know the history of
again, here we go. The Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent.
Here we go again. Carry on.
The Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent once again refuses to acknowledge reality. No, sir. The Lamont Brewster knockout happened after Vladimir Klitschko had joined forces.
He just got with Emmanuel Stewart. Okay. He just got with Emmanuel Stewart.
Here we go.
They
were already like 2 or 3 fights deep. What are you talking about?
Once they 2 or 3 fights deep. Hey, listen.
They were already 2 or 3 fights deep.
Okay, so and that's the guy you call lineal. Okay, cool.
So the point is
that's the guy you call lineal. Cool.
No, the point is
1 minute. You gotta make your mind up, brother. 1 minute is lineal, the other minute is no good. You got to make your mind up, brother. You're all over the place. You are all over the place.
The point that I'm making is this: that when the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent hangs their hat on the fact that Anthony Joshua knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. Well, that's not all that impressive given history and given the fact of the matter that it had been done before.
It's not all
3 times.
But that's the guy that you call linear. Okay, it's not all that impressive.
I'm just pointing out the facts.
That's the guy that you call the man.
Tyson Fury is the first man out.
When it suits you, oh, he wasn't that good. Next minute, next show, oh, he was linear. He was a dominant champion. The show after that, oh, he was no good. You got to make your mind up, brother. You got to make your mind up.
Now you wish to put words in my mouth, and that's fine, okay? Because you have no argument. Your argument has been totally and completely destroyed, and you have the rest of the Anthony Joshua cheating contingent, all right, brainwashed and following along with your nonsensory, okay?
You couldn't destroy a cream cracker. You couldn't.
Like I was saying, okay? Here are the facts. The FACKTS. The facts. Tyson Fury is the first and only man to have outboxed Vladimir Klitschko. Okay? Now you're hanging your hat on something that Anthony Joshua had done that had been done 3 times prior. So guess what? It's not all that impressive when you're not the first guy to do it. It's been done before.
Dang.
Okay?
Dang.
It had been done by lesser fighters who looked better in the process. Corey Sanders took out Vladimir Klitschko in 2 rounds.
But yeah, that's linear. That's the guy you call linear. That's the guy you shout out as linear. Facts. You know? Facts. Okay.
So let's call a spade a spade. Okay?
Okay, so who's the number one? So your final words. The Box Rec have dropped out Tyson Fury and your boy Deontay Wilder out of the rankings. They're just out. Your final words, my friend. Your final words and thoughts and observations.
I think whoever put together those rankings has been spending too much time with Oscar De La Hoya. Cocaine and kitchen utensils are not good, kiddies. They're not.
Not good, kiddies. Not good. And those are the
cocaine and kitchen utensils.
And those are the explosive words of the fight doctor. You know, it comes with the FACKTS every time. Fight doctor, always a pleasure having you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Happy birthday, and I catch you cats in the alley.
Thank you very much, and that was the Fight Doctor, always coming with the FACKTS, alternative facts. Okay, folks, so where's the music? Where my music at? Okay, so it's another one. We've got through another one. What am I sharing? Let's drop that. Get this up. Where we at? Boom, 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 boom. Yes, Lady Chan up in the building as we close this shiznix down. I was gonna go into a freestyle, but then I thought no, I ain't gonna do no freestyle tonight. I said no, go. Okay. Okay, so we've got through another one. We've got through 300. Much appreciation for the birthday wishes. It's the birthday. It's not my birthday today. It's later on in the week. It's my birthday week. It's going to be a week-long celebrations. Why not? It only happens one time a year. And so, we've got through another one. Thank you. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the 300th edition. We call that staying power. And that's what we got up in here. The Raphael Dawkins. It's the combat radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comments. It's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Don't forget about the live shows. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to let's come over here and enjoy yourselves. It's Raphael Dawkins, Comeback Radio, and we are out. Blessed.